Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another week of the silliest willies you'll meet around from the basement of La Penta. That's right, we're in the WICR studio. I'm Brian Moran, joined as always with
Declan Siak.
And James Burke.
James Burke, bringing up the rear. Yeah, so big week for the silly willies here. We all partook in our pre-show research and watched SNL this past weekend. And initial reactions. It was host Liev Shcreiber. I believe it was his first time hosting, as he identified in his monologue. What'd you guys think?
I wasn't a big fan of it. I didn't think it was that good.
James,
I liked moments of the episode. I recently, for me, the past 2 seasons of SNL have had a serious drop of quality. I feel like the previous seasons were more high quality. So I thought Liev Shcreiber did a good job. But I just didn't think the skits were written that well.
I thought that the skits were okay. Liev just is not he's not a guy that like exudes a lot of, as he said in his monologue, he's like, I'm not typically a funny guy. Nobody would say I'm funny, so you can laugh, you don't have to laugh.
Yeah.
So I think he tried his best. He did fumble
at the end
a few skits he was fumbling. But I actually watched it out of order because I watched like different skits on YouTube, so I didn't watch it in the order it came. But
the skit with him, Beck,
Dave
and
at the bathroom.
What?
With Dave's women outside of the bathroom.
I actually enjoyed that.
That was
funny. Yeah.
But yeah, that one.
That was a later skit too. Like usually the later skits.
Yeah, that might have been the last one.
Yeah, usually there's like a steep drop off. The one that was I was actually dying at was the brothers in their
underwear. Oh yeah, that was great.
I was crying.
Yeah, that was great, and all the cast members were losing it.
When Cecily Strong breaks, that's when you know it's like she's always so dedicated to character. Yeah. When she starts laughing, you know it's like hilarious.
Yeah, A.D. Bryant breaks a decent amount. Like she broke a couple times that episode with Kate McKinnon. She broke when Kate McKinnon was doing that thing.
Kate McKinnon.
That whole skit that they do with that, it was really, really funny when McConaughey was on the show and they did it for the first time.
I think
that was the first time.
Gosling was the first time. Gosling, my bad. But I just don't think
your history.
I think it's like starting to lose its charm.
This guy's like, not doing his research.
This up for us.
I didn't find the new one that funny.
Yeah, no, they did it they bring that back a couple times, and like the first time I thought it was like really good.
Yeah,
when they were like, I think captured by aliens or something like that, and describing it, and then the second time I was like, I get why they brought it back, but I'm not like a huge fan.
I felt the same exact way.
I was like,
all right,
yeah,
I get it.
Yeah, stop.
Yeah.
I liked Pete Davidson's thing a lot
with the Colonel.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Colonel.
Yeah.
Dan Crenshaw. Lieutenant
Crenshaw.
Wow, look at us knowing everyone's name. This is actually very impressive. I don't know if you guys Weekend Update I thought was very strong.
Yeah, it was definitely the highlight.
I thought it was a very good Weekend Update. Particularly, I don't know if you guys saw the video because when they did it on the show with Cecily Strong being the intern trying to take Colin's mic, like if you actually saw the video,
it was exactly like that.
I was crying. It was exactly like that. The guy's trying to ask a question in the White House press conference, and Trump's like, "That's enough. Like, no, stop it. Stop asking a question." He's like, "If I could just," and the girl literally just keeps reaching to grab it out of his hand. So Cecily did a really good job. It was
grab what out of his hand?
His microphone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was really, really, really funny.
Yeah, it was hysterical, and I love the way that because it's such like a small moment. So if you miss it, everyone's probably like, "What is happening right now?"
Did she get the girl the intern? Did she get fired?
No,
I don't know.
She got praised.
Oh, okay.
The White House praised her.
Oh,
yeah, they're not gonna.
No, I know. Yeah,
not in Trump's America.
But that's something about SNL that I think. It's not a problem because obviously everyone at SNL is like very well versed in everything that's going on politically because they have to be.
Yeah.
Because that's their main sense of material, right? Aside from like sports, when there's like the Super Bowl or something, like that's the only time they get a story that's like big enough to broadcast to such a large audience.
Yeah.
And everyone find it funny. So like something like that is so niche Like that is such a tiny video, but since they're so obsessed with the White House and the whole government, they're like, this is hysterical. We have to put it in. But I think it probably, I would think, missed a lot of people.
Yeah.
At least what that was actually about.
Yeah.
The Dan Crenshaw part, for me, like going back to what you were saying about the politics and stuff, that was awesome because like now like you don't see a lot of the left and right meeting, like and like coming to terms and being peaceful.
Yeah.
And so that was really cool, like how they handled that entire situation. And it was hysterical how they did it, like with Ariana Grande's song coming being his ringtone and him saying that he looks like a blue crystal meth.
Yeah, that was great.
And that was hysterical. Like the whole thing was and then the message behind it, like the thing that he said after like about how we should all be united as Americans. Like that was like, for me, the Weekend Update was very, very strong because of that and Cecily Strong.
Yeah, I agree. But something that I just think it's funny because SNL, before the midterm elections, never preached unity. They preached voting. It was just voting and getting Democrats in the House.
Yeah.
Now that Democrats won the House, now it's all about unity, which I think is very funny because they had that whole thing where they had a Republican come on and ask for unity. And then also the song about unity that they did with things like the tiny things that we don't like. Like soft apples when the pilot comes on just to tell you about the weather or whatever.
Yeah. Like
so
all
I
things
think
we have in common.
Yeah, so I think that's very interesting that they transitioned now that they got what they wanted. I mean, I'm a big SNL guy. I'm not saying it. It's just interesting that that's when they preach unity.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Before it's very divisive and very at the Republicans. But now since they won the House, it's like they're like happy.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't like the politics about SNL. That's something I don't like.
I think it's necessary.
I also think it's necessary.
I think it brings a lot of information to people. Maybe like sometimes it's very biased, obviously.
It's extremely biased. It's painfully biased. But it's like I think the discussion of politics needs to happen, but I think that they should be all right with opposing viewpoints.
It's like the Daily Show and like how the Colbert Report was like.
No, I get why it's necessary.
It's
I just like every opening skit I don't get.
Yeah, you have and that's again going back to what I was saying is that they're very dialed into politics.
Yeah.
And not many of us, at least not our age group are. So unless you're watching every news break throughout the week, you'll probably not get the cold open. And the cold open is geared 100% to what is going on in the media. It opens with President Trump, Jeff Sessions this week.
Yeah.
And
like every week.
And every week, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that's a part. But again, what are they going to do that's going to reach everybody?
No, yeah.
Consistently, at least, because they have those creative ideas. I think, like the House Hunters thing from this week. Yeah. I thought that was very funny.
Yeah, we were. Yeah,
that was funny. We definitely thought. I definitely thought that was another highlight.
Mm-hmm. But you can't. It's just like those types of comedy are gonna miss. It's like you're trying to reach such a large audience when you're live every week nationally. It's so insane how many people you have to try to make laugh to try to get the approval that SNL is funny again. You know. Yeah. So how do you find a topic that's common ground with everybody? I don't know.
Yeah,
it's exceptionally hard.
Yeah, but they just like their skits in general. Also, everyone finds funny, but
no, that's true.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like the first like 3.
Yeah,
everybody's like typically like that's a great skit, and then after that,
there's a serious lack of
after like the first musical performance, it tends to be a little bit.
Yeah. I have to be honest. This is one of the first SNL episodes in a while that I've watched where I thought the quality got better as the show got on, because that the brothers skit, the House Hunters, and those 2 skits were both later on in the show.
Can you tell me? Since I didn't watch it through. Like, what was like the first skit besides the cold open?
Well, they had the Kate McKinnon alien one.
Yeah, that might have been the first one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's again. I didn't love it when I watched it on YouTube, just because I was like, oh, okay, we're doing it again.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still funny, and for people that don't watch that often, they're like, oh, great, you know.
Well,
And then
people
the
love-
rap song. Did you see the rap song with
Yeah, that I didn't like
The
that.
Unity one?
No, there was a song with they brought Lil Wayne in it. They brought Future in it.
Oh, I actually didn't click on that one.
Oh yeah, it wasn't that. It wasn't.
It was
that
about
funny.
consent and stuff.
Okay.
It was it
clever.
had funny moments,
Yeah.
but it was like kind of just like too early for it. Like I
Yeah.
would have liked it later in the show.
I do like that they are not moving away from, because obviously that's Saturday Night Live is the whole thing, but I do tend to love the pre-recorded things that they shoot. Those tend to make me laugh very hard.
Same.
The live skits, obviously, like, we all love to see characters breaking, because then you're like, oh wow, they really find it funny. You find it funny. I like to see them break when it bombs, when it's not doing well. That's the only way you can. That's the only way you can save it. And they always make jokes about that too. But their pre-recorded stuff is always solid. Like, I missed the digital shorts with the Lonely Island back in the day.
Yeah.
Those
Andy Samberg.
Those were always what I was like looking forward to.
Yeah, me too. It kind of got replaced by like Beck Bennett and Kyle Mooney.
Beck Bennett and Kyle Mooney are,
they're
great. They're the stars, man.
But, like,
I mean,
like they're like the ones now who always have pre-recorded stuff.
Yeah. And it's funny because I still feel like Kyle Mooney is so funny, but like, there are people in the audience that still don't get like his type of humor, even though he's been there for like 5 or 6 years. Every time he does like his weird shy character that I think is hysterical, it's met with no laughter. Yeah. Whereas like Beck Bennett is just like so out there and like always yelling and stuff, and people are dying at him. And then Kyle Mooney always plays like so reserved, which is so funny to combat that. But it's always like dead quiet after Kyle Mooney says something.
Yeah, Kyle Mooney's hysterical. I definitely agreed with that.
Yeah, I like them both. I like their chemistry since they've like known each other for so long.
Yeah,
they work very well together.
They have a good dynamic.
You know,
I don't think they're in many like live skits that often. Like, I can't like
just the brothers one.
That's why. That's why. Like, I'm happy that they did that, because like you got to see them together live. It's usually like them together on like pre-recorded stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They shine when they're together.
Yeah,
too.
I agree with that. Yeah,
really good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They play off each other like it's nobody's business, man.
Yeah,
that's how people talk, right? What's it called? Do you guys have like a sleeper from the SNL cast that you think is funny that needs more screen time?
I mean, well, you just said Kyle Mooney. I would probably put him.
Okay.
I don't know.
Leslie Jones.
I am a big. I'm not huge, but I tend to like Mikey Day in skits. I think he does I think he does a very good like host style character. Like if you remember the Terrazano skit where they bring a couple like 3 couples into a room that's like decorated like a Italian restaurant, and they serve them like lasagna or whatever, and these people are like, oh, I only eat Terrazano's. I'm a Terrazano's girl, sexually strong. And he's like, well, it's actually from Pizza Hut. And she goes nuts, but he's like such a solid driver of that.
Yeah, he like definitely lost some screen time, because there was like last season, especially, he was on it all the time. Like, there was actually like one episode where he might have literally been in every single skit. Like, maybe there was one he wasn't on, but I was like, this guy is literally the whole show right now. But this season, he hasn't really gotten much screen time. Mm-hmm. Same with that guy, Alex Moffat.
I was about to bring him up.
He doesn't get that much screen time.
What do you guys think about him?
I like him too, but I agree. I think he's good in like his specific things.
Yeah, like he's good at the Trump, Donald Trump Jr.
Donald Trump.
Yeah, that was solid.
I
like that. Yeah. You do want some subpoenas?
Yeah, Mikey Day's good at.
I feel like
Eric.
He was in a lot more. I feel like they both were. They do a lot of skits together.
Yeah,
and I feel like they were both a lot more. Like, he was doing a lot more of last year.
Mikey Day. I actually, like when I was in middle school,
there's
his YouTube skits. I watched them in middle school.
Really?
And I thought they were hilarious. I don't know. I don't remember the channel, but it was David Blaine Street Magic.
Oh,
He's that Mikey
I
Day's
forgot about that. Yeah.
The guy
That was great.
the guy he acts in with it, not the guy who plays David Blaine, but the other guy. He's actually also in a ton of stuff.
He's in
now,
The
too.
Office.
Yeah, he's in The Office.
Yeah, and the guy who does David Blaine, I think, is in some stuff. But Mikey Day,
Yeah.
I was like watching those in middle school, and I thought they were hysterical. Like
They're
my
still
friend and
pretty
I,
funny.
yeah, like if you brought that up to him, you'd think he sends me links sometimes of that.
Yeah.
Like, they're just great. They were so funny.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
All right, we got to take a quick break from Silly Willies. When we come back, we'll be talking, I don't know, more funny things.
Wings.
Wings.
Yeah,
Probably
maybe
wings.
wings.
Traditional, boneless, you decide.
Wings.
See you soon.